Alright, so this is my 1K mistake. Alright guys, so this here is my 1K mistake. It's a 2001 Chevy S10 quad cab, or crew cab. From the outside it's got the typical rust spots, but what's underneath is why it's a mistake. So let's just take a quick look at that. Okay, so excuse the video quality, it's pretty horrible. I don't know why there's a plastic bag there. But as you can see inside, it's actually rather clean. The whole headliner here looks brand new. The center console, I mean. You can see there's a couple of little burns here and a couple of little burns there, so clearly the person was a smoker. I can clean down the steering wheel or whatnot, but overall, it's very clean inside. Don't mind the compressor. There's a story in that later. But yeah, so this is it. And the problem with it is, well, everything. As you can see, got a fuel line there. That's because this thing's pissing fuel out from underneath the driver's seat. And we'll get to that. Okay, so under the hood we got a 4.3 liter V6 Vortec. Nothing too extravagant. It does run and drive pretty good. Threw in a new battery because it needed one. The junkyard I got it from said they were going to toss one in. Never did. But one of the main issues, yeah, right down there you can sort of see if the damn thing focuses. Power steering lines completely soaked because something in the power steering system is leaking like crazy, as bad as the gas. Oh yeah, there's absolutely no brakes either. It does run, but I don't have the key on me. So here we are underneath the driver's side. As you can see, there are absolutely no emergency brakes at all. Whole thing's just rusted right out. Let's see, the fuel line on top of here, that green line is a brake line. But the fuel line right around this area here, completely rusted and just pissing fuel everywhere. So that's one of the things I have to do. I have to strip the frame to make sure it's even savable. Let's see. I'm gonna have to hit the body mounts here. There's a lot of rust on it, but it looks solid. Let's see, this here is probably the only body mount that's good. Everything else on it completely rusted straight through. So basically what it looked like, oh yeah, there's the strap for the gas tank. Nothing left on that. Basically it looks like whoever had it drove it for 10 years and then decided just to park it in a swamp for 2 years. It's got some rust here in the rockers. It's all surface rust. It's actually pretty solid. But yeah, that's most of it there. So here's the bed of the truck. Looks pretty solid. Go up front. Oh yeah, see if we can get in there. It should not be flexing like that. There is nothing left holding the front of it together. As far as I know, there's not a single mount on here that's actually holding the bed on. It's a little jacked up. But, oh yeah, you can see over here, look at this. Definitely nothing Oh, hear that crunch? There's absolute, look at that. Hold on. See if I can get in here. Look at that. Why is this not focusing? There we go. Look at the sheet metal. There's nothing holding the front of this thing together. But the cab itself isn't too bad. Rockers were recently done. Inside, the carpet looks all pretty clean. There's the pump. I got that pump for 20 bucks. That's what I'm using to fix this thing. And it's got the typical fender rot from the mud and whatnot. I can easily fix that. So yeah, that's my new project. Alright guys, so the question really is, what happened to my car here, and what is this long ass story, and how did I end up with a 1K mistake? So I was just, driving home, and the engine started doing this. Third time's usually the charm. Just keep the foot lightly on the gas. There we go. See, third time's always the charm with this piece of shit. So, what exactly happened? I'm just driving along, trying to get home, and then all of a sudden it starts puttering, and it goes into limp mode. Which, the engine, basically just won't, it'll run just fine. Excuse me. It'll run, but like all power just gets cut out of it, and you can only go 20 miles an hour. It's basically just enough so you can pull over, call for a tow, and you get the little lightning bolt here on the dash, which signifies that there's a problem with the throttle body or something. Honestly, I've looked at this thing so many times, I don't know what the hell is up with anything. Yeah, get all that ice off the window. Alright, ADD distraction aside. Yeah, so, I mean, you can clearly see this thing still runs, but I can't drive it. So I limped it home and got it to the local shop, and turns out the computer died in this. Within 1 week, I changed the starter. I changed the throttle body, which is in the back seat. And now the computer died when I went to reset it for the throttle body. And I just had enough of this. So my wife was kind enough. Turn this off here. So my wife was nice enough to help me out in the search. She went on to Craigslist. I was looking on Facebook because, I mean, who uses Craigslist anymore, right? And she found this listing. So, it was local to me. Why not? I've always loved S10s. I've always wanted a quad cab. And for $1,000, if I could throw a couple $100 into it to get it running, sounds good. It did say that there was a fuel leak. Whatever, I can deal with that. So we drove down. We looked at it. Yeah, that was my biggest mistake. It was snow on the ground like it is right now. And I really didn't want to get too dirty because I was just trying to get home. I was sick and tired of dealing with this car. And so I got down and looked. I could see that the frame is crusty. As long as the frame is good, that's fine, whatever. I live in New England. It's in the salt belt. There's going to be rust everywhere. So, yeah. So I talked my wife into letting me buy it. Mistake number one. As much as I wanted that thing, I just let the feels get to me, and I wanted it because one of my first vehicles I had was a Cavalier, and I traded that in and got a 97 S10. That thing was an awesome little rig. One of the few trucks I regret getting rid of. It was an awesome little truck. Nothing wrong with it. I traded it in for a right-hand drive Jeep when I worked at the post office. So yeah. So I had the nostalgia feelings, and I went out and I bought this truck. So, yeah, I spent $1,000 on the thing, way overpaid. Other quad cabs around here, or crew cabs, are going between $5,000 and $6,000. So I didn't expect anything anything major for only paying $1,000. But I expected it to be at least an easy fix. I figured, I could run there. But, it's getting a little bright. Let's just head on inside and have some lunch. Tonight, we are dining on some lovely chicken cordon bleu, some baby Brussels sprouts lightly sauced. And it begins. All right, let's go sit down on our comfy new furniture. Just got it in this morning, and tell the rest of the tale. All right, so here we are, sitting in my wife's chair. Don't tell her. But yeah, so what happened was my car broke down. I had enough of it. My wife found the ad on Craigslist, and I always wanted another S10, so we got it. So we ended up paying $1,000 for the stupid thing. We had it listed for $1,200. Still, I paid twice as much. This is Willow. Say hi, Willow. Hi. All right. Obligatory animal video out of the way. So yeah, I paid entirely way too much for that. All right, go. All right, so I paid entirely way too much for that truck, even at $1,000. I'm really hoping the frame is good so I can save it. And then I also need to hit the bottom of the body, make sure that's still good. It's pretty solid. I mean, the rust looks bad, but it's mostly surface stuff. I haven't found anything gone completely through. It does have its typical issues in the fenders. Those are easy to fix. So that's going to be my project. But that's also only half the story. What happened for the rest of it, well, I brought the truck to the shop because I knew it needed a fuel line. So I told them, just patch that, repair it, whatever, just as long as I can drive it around and fix it later. And when they put it on the lift, there was so much wrong with it. They made an entire list. Actually, here's the list. I mean, look at that. A whole page of stuff, just everything, shot, junk. So we had to make the decision to either try to sell it, and there was no way in hell I'm going to be getting my money back, or keep it as a project truck. And we just bought the house. One of the conditions was that once we get a house, I could get a project truck. So we just decided this is going to be my project truck. We're just going to take it nice and slow, just repair things as I go. Right. The other part. So, right, I brought it down to the garage. Whole thing shot, right? And here's the kicker. So, there's no way it's going to get inspected. And while I was getting it inspected, one of the other customers decided to scrap their car because they had enough wrong with it, kind of like me and my orange car. There's just so many little things that keep going wrong with it. They were just done. So, the guy told me if I wanted to pay for the amount that they were going to get from the junkyard, I could just take it. So I picked up a 2005 Volkswagen Touareg for $150. Yeah. So in the end, it worked out. I overpaid for a piece of crap, underpaid for a fairly good car. I threw in an alternator, a new belt, a tensioner, and the Touareg is perfectly fine. The guy that owned it before me fluid filmed the underneath, so there's very little rust. It's should last for quite a while around here. So that is the whole of the story, and there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out of it. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of little videos on the truck and putting them up, and hopefully I can get my channel going again. Alright guys, well I'm going to go and finish cooking this lunch and catch you guys later. Bye.